Should we sally forth and continue to find out?
You gotta go to
The idea being
you might be asking yourself,
that
what did I just watch?
in a natural environment,
The answer?
organism.
Oh, you'd probably like me to start talking.
Probably have some value.
Wow, that was nice prompting. I like this simple new approach that we're taking, making sure that we only give you the things that are important. The words. That's it. We don't care about the background. We're not sure. We're in the process of doing an experiment, folks. We're going to do this is our new OBM thing. We're going to decide, based on your views and your responses, what is important in our videos. So, in this video, we are simply cutting out all the extra stuff. We're simply going to tell you what you need to know. And we're going to remove pretty things like backgrounds. So, we are using the most boring background we can find here, because it's not a very unboring place. Well, that was weird. Oh, that's a joke. I'm not supposed to do those. Okay, let's back to the task at hand. Please, when you're engaging in the behavior of OBMing, which is a new thing, you need to focus only on the value of the things that are happening. I can't deliver it this way. That's impossible. I gotta have at least a little bit of value in some dynamic responses with regard to the content. I can't Ferris Bueller this thing all day long. What's over there? Nothing? Why are you looking there?
Additional value.
Here at Sidecar, we never stop looking for additional value. As a team, we will find it. We will chase it. Now, value added, right? So there's lots of layers where you have to worry about value. And I'm not talking dollars necessarily. It might be dollars, but it doesn't have to be dollars. I'm talking about the value of a thing that you're engaging in, or a process that you're doing, or a practice that's happening, or just a little behavior that you're asking someone to do in the workplace. What is the value of that behavior? I often give a wonderful example about some of the work I did in Afghanistan and a guy that I worked with, and all of the steps that had to happen in order for the president to get himself a box of pencils. This is not a joke. The steps were, I remember, all the details are lost, but the point is that there were so many steps. Dozens of people had to sign off on this presidential request, and people had to stamp it. Then they had to put their signature on it, and then it had to go back to people that had stamped it already to confirm that Bob had actually signed it, and that Bob had signed off on the thing that had already been approved. What? Each step didn't necessarily have value. Right? You've all been in this scenario where you're going like, why am I doing all this extra crap? Why am I writing down twice how many videos we've recorded? Why am I writing it down in one setting and then in another setting and then emailing it over here and putting it on a keep there and doing this and that and then sending a text going, don't forget to record the videos? Are all of those things, all of those different steps, did they add any value? That's a great question. We don't know. And the difficulty with knowing about whether or not something has added value is you might have to do some experimentation to find out. I keep foreshadowing about videos on experimentation and research methods. Well, guess what? That's part of it. You have to understand that if I take this particular process out, what's going to happen to my business? Am I going to break something? Am I taking out a piece of quality control? Did I take somebody's calipers away? You know, to refer to another video, you take somebody's calipers away, they can't measure things properly. Right? So don't do that, all right? So that has value. Those calipers have value. Writing down the phone call that you engaged in today with a particular client has value. Why? Because I promise you, if there's ever a problem and you go back and say, well, we talked about this on this day and this day and this day and this day and this day, and you go through all those things, that's valuable in that moment. It might not feel like it up front. What isn't value is having somebody write down every minute of the day, everything that they're doing. Now, it might feel like that because as a behavior analyst, I'm sure you just want data. But the point is that if they're spending so much time recording about what they're doing that you're taking away from them actually doing, now you've got a problem with value. That value of writing that stuff down has not added. So we talk about value added. If you're adding a new step, what is added by that value? Are you adding quality control? Are you adding timeliness? Are you adding accuracy? Are you adding effectiveness? Are you reducing the budget? What is it that's going on when you ask for something new or adopt a new piece of software or whatever it is that you're asking for? Like I said, changes in removal of behaviors, changes in the addition of behaviors, buying new software, going new places, building a new building, using a white wall instead of a brown wall. Whatever. The point is, does it have value? Keeping yourself rooted in that thinking, of thinking about the value of this particular thing, ties you into a couple pieces. It ties you into measurement, right? So if you're thinking about in terms of value, then you're going to think about in terms of you're going to think in terms of measurement. Can I measure the effects of this? And if you're trying to assess the value, then you would have to measure the effects of it. It keeps you thinking about being empirical, observing things. It keeps you thinking about doing things in an experimental fashion and controlling for as many variables as you can while you're manipulating as few as you can. All of these things are positive things that you want to think about when you're doing your OBM type work. So value added is a super, super important thing to be aware of. One might even say it has value to learn about value added stuff. So, and there's probably some other phrase that's professional out there, but I just like value added stuff. It's just awesome. So I will leave you with a blank wall that's blankish and hoping that it has value for you in some way, shape, or form. May the peace of bricks be with you.
It's Brad again, closing some feedback loops out with students and their test prep experiences. You there, how's your test experience going so far? Oh my, that's completely horrible. At Psychar, we won't mock you, we'll shape you.